Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look at that cold weather that continues to really just show itself over the last couple of weeks and now over the next couple of days, even into next week. If you have any questions, as always, head over to our Facebook chat at WNEM TV5 News. There I will try to answer any of the questions that you may have. I do apologize if I miss your chat or your questions. I don't always get the chance to look over there all the time. So as we get started today, we're going to be looking at Zender Snowfest there in Frankenmuth. As you see, Carver's already out there getting work done. They've been going on this for a few hours now, getting a good job there. They're getting some help, though, as well, with colder air continuing to set up across mid-Michigan, and that will continue. So no worries about melting at Snowfest. We've also seen a few flakes of snow falling on that camera throughout the day. But at this point, just looking at cloudy skies. Looking at the rest of our forecast for that area in Frankenmuth, it's temperatures in the teens, cloudy skies. Like I said, I'm not going to count out a few flakes of snow falling as we get through our Wednesday afternoon. Now, Sky Tracker shows many areas are having that cloud cover. And just some light snow, especially down towards Genesee County. That's been an area that has continued to see some snowflakes on and off here throughout a majority of our Wednesday. And I will say there is more snow than what our radar / Sky Tracker is showing us because it is very low in the atmosphere as it falls, or it's just super small, so it's not getting picked up by the radars as it moves through. So don't be surprised if you get out and about here for our Wednesday if you do see a few flakes. I pull away that cloud cover into our pinpoint Doppler, and it does show us there is just a few snow flakes or snow developments there traveling across Genesee County, now moving into Lapeer County. But like I mentioned, even if you're not seeing snow on the pinpoint Doppler, you may see a few snowflakes. It's just very low in the atmosphere. Radar having a tough time detecting that snow. Now we look at our hour by hour. We continue to see those isolated snow chances on and off today. It's not the most widespread, and it's not going to be the heaviest, but just enough that you're going to notice it as you get out and about. You may even have to scrape off the car if you do get a consistent snowfall for a time period, especially this evening past about 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. As we get through the night, that snow chance does look to lower. We'll actually possibly have some sunshine for our Thursday morning before cloud cover starts to rebuild itself into the afternoon. And again, maybe an isolated snow chance here or there as you're getting out for your Thursday afternoon routine. Then we get into Thursday night. Again, some more isolated snow chances. Skies are trying to clear as we're waking up Friday morning, and actually could have plenty of sunshine across mid-Michigan for our Friday morning. But like the previous few days, cloud cover is going to increase as we head into the afternoon and then into the evening. Just a few light snow chances. One area we'll have to look at heading into the weekend is out towards Huron and Sanilac County for maybe some more lake effect snow trying to develop there. And then just across the state, maybe a few areas of light snow into the weekend. We just really can't get rid of that chance. The one thing is ice is really starting to form across the lakes, and that will help lower our lake effect snow chances once we do get that ice cover, especially across the bay, north of the Thumb, then Lake Michigan for some of those areas out west along 127. That will help you out as more of that ice does start to form here as we get cold and more cold days really building through the remainder of the next week. Quickly, I did want to look at our First Alert traffic map just to show off what we're seeing here in the 2 o'clock hour. Anyone that has travel plans, this will be a good update for you. Up to our northern counties, all is good here as we started the 2 o'clock hour. As we move down to the Bay region, it's also holding on to good travel conditions. And then down to the south, there's a few areas, maybe north of Grand Blanc there, a few slowdowns, M15. That also, as you get towards sort of eastern Genesee County does have maybe a few slowdowns. I'd imagine that is because you did have some snow falling. But otherwise, everything's looking to be good for our southern counties. That's a good change because I know that's an area that has had some snowfall sort of consistently on and off for the last week or so and has had poor travel conditions develop, especially south of Flint on 75. And then as you head even farther south than that. If you're heading a little bit out of the area, this is going to be towards Lansing and I-69. That's going to include Ingham County. All is good there. Again, did have some slowdowns on areas like 69 and 96 south of Lansing. And then Metro Detroit, all is looking good. Just a few accidents there as people head out for their daily travel, but not seeing much in terms of slowdowns. Now, as you're getting outside here, temperatures are still in the teens. It's really been the trend for a majority of the week and will continue to be a trend for the rest of the week. We can see areas like Saginaw, Bay City, Flint, Midland, all at 14 degrees. Owasso and Lapeer at 16. Standish and Caseville are also at 16 degrees. Then as you move out towards 127, Clare, Alma at 14, Gladwin at 15, Mount Pleasant at 17, one of the warmer areas, but not by much. We're only by a few degrees. And I do want to highlight that many of our areas, if not everywhere, is still below average. Yes, it is January. It is cold typically during the month of January, but teens, like we're seeing right now, are still 10 to 15 degrees below average where we're supposed to be sitting for this time of year. So that cold air has really taken over and has continued to push us below that average mark as we've gotten through this week. And with wind out of the west at 15 to, we'll say 20 miles per hour, a few areas at 10 miles per hour, and a few wind gusts up to 25 to now 30 miles per hour. Actually, Flint now reading 29. So we do see breezy conditions across mid-Michigan right now. So just be prepared if you've gotten more snow over the last couple of days. Blowing snow may continue to be something you could see. Luckily, not the strongest winds we have been seeing over the last couple of weeks, but still noticeable. And with that, that means our wind chills are going to be a little bit lower. And that is why the National Weather Service has issued more cold weather advisories. Now for today, it's just for tonight, I should say, it is just our northern counties, Roscommon, Ogama, and Iosco County. That starts at 10 p.m. tonight, goes up until 10 a.m. tomorrow. We'll see how things get issued through the rest of today. There's a possibility more counties get added to this. Obviously, as you head south, we start to change to the National Weather Service from Detroit, so they will be the ones that have to issue any cold weather advisories for the southern half of mid-Michigan. That's really the Bay South as we get through tonight. Haven't issued it yet. It's going to be probably Thursday night and Friday night, or Thursday night into Friday morning. I think we see more widespread cold weather advisories or extreme cold watches just based on our wind chills continuing to get down to 15 below to 25 below zero. So it's really been the trend all week, and like I've mentioned before, will continue to be the trend. You're going to need to be bundled up as you're heading off for your morning routine, whether that's school, work, or whatever you might be doing. But for now, it's just our three counties to the north, Ogama, Roscommon, Iosco County, starting at 10 p.m. tonight, going until 10 a.m. tomorrow. And when we look at tonight, lows are going to be sitting near or just below zero. But really the theme that we're seeing, just like those cold weather advisories, is our northern counties getting a little bit cooler. West Branch at 8 below zero, Holton Lake at 10 below zero, and that is just counting air temperatures. So not counting the wind that is going to be noticeable through the rest of today into tonight. And we can see by the time we're waking up Thursday morning on our future feels like 7 a.m. here, it is those northern counties seeing the coldest below zero temperatures, feels like temperatures, I should say. West Branch at 16 below, East Tawas at 13 below, Standish at 12 below, but still cold everywhere. You know, like I said, there is going to be a chance that the National Weather Service does decide to issue more of these cold weather advisories, especially I think in counties like Tuscola, Huron, and Sanilac. We'll see how they, though, make that decision as we get through the rest of today. I think more likely tomorrow night into Friday morning is where we see more widespread of those advisories, because we can see by Friday morning our wind chills, at least on this model, getting down to 15 to 25 below zero, even a few areas closer to 30. Now, could this forecasting model be a little bit more active? That's always a possibility. I think we're definitely, though, sitting in that range Friday morning from 10 to 20 below zero, and then we'll probably have to add on that a few areas could get down to 25 below zero. So like I mentioned before, definitely going to see probably more widespread cold weather advisories for Thursday night into Friday morning, and some recovery into the afternoon Friday, but still a cold one there, so definitely need to be bundled up. I don't see any questions in our chat, so because of that, I am going to take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, I am going to be looking at wind for the next couple of days, our hour by hour once again, and maybe a preview of what we could expect for next week, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, live for the second half of our First Alert Weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me. As always, we take a look starting at our highs for Thursday, and what you can see is a trend, maybe just a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing really today. And for most of the week, it's mid to lower teens, but there are a few single digits in there. Bad Axe at 8, West Branch at 8 degrees, and Holton Lake at 6 degrees are just a few of those areas that are just a little bit cooler. We see that trend tonight, especially up to the north, and I think that just carries over into tomorrow as we just continue to see that Arctic air. So like I've mentioned before, wind chills just continuing to be a factor through the remainder of the week, most likely. So if you have to be outdoors, just be prepared to be bundled up as you get out and about for your Thursday, Friday, and weekend routine. Now, I did want to quickly highlight our wind gusts. We'll start off with the rest of today. Winds mostly from the west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. That's through about 5 to 6 p.m. Does try to calm down a little bit tonight, but it's not by much. But by tomorrow morning, it actually does look like our wind gusts do stay on the calmer side. This is 6 a.m. on Thursday. Wind still from the northwest at 5 to 15. It'll be areas out towards eastern Huron and Sanilac counties like Bad Axe, Port Hope, and Sandusky that you get wind gusts at 15 to 25 miles per hour. So continuing that trend. And then by the time we get into Thursday afternoon, winds trying to increase just a little bit, but staying calm through Thursday evening into Friday, and then just winds from the north-northwest for Friday afternoon at 10 to 20. So I think there's just going to be a combination with those winds trying to stay relatively breezy, but our air temperatures being on the colder side, that wind chill continued to be a factor. Now let's take a look at your hour by hour once again for anyone that is joining late into the stream. Like I've mentioned, there is some light snow still falling across mid-Michigan here in the 2 o'clock hour. I think that continues. In terms of widespread snow, it's not very much. Then as we get through tonight, we continue to see isolated snow chances, especially up to the north-northwest, Roscommon, Clare counties. I think that's mostly off of the lake for areas that still don't have ice developing to the north-northwest. But by the time we're waking up Thursday morning, most of that snow chance does look to go away. We actually may see some sunshine tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, though, cloud cover does increase once again. We may see some light snow. I don't anticipate anything really accumulating, but just enough you'll notice it as you're getting out and about for your Thursday afternoon routine. Thursday night, still some isolated snow chances. But then by Friday, it looks like we'll start the day with some clear skies with some cloud cover trying to build later into the afternoon, then really start to build into the evenings, Friday into Saturday morning. And then, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, just some lake effect snow possible into our eastern counties for Saturday. I'm not going to count out some light snow either as we get cloud cover wanting to build itself across mid-Michigan. Now, it is Wednesday. The Climate Prediction Center does typically release their update for the next week onto their map. So let's take a look at that just in case you do have plans for next week. So this is your temperature outlook for next week. And what you see is we are starting to see a trend of above normal temperatures. Again, probabilities are a little bit higher. Things could definitely shift as we get over the next couple of days. But for now, the temperature outlook continues to put higher probabilities for northern Michigan into the upper peninsula of above average temperatures. If you have plans to travel out west, you see that trend holding on as well. If you have plans to travel south, there has been an outlook that they are going to sit below normal for their temperatures, probability-wise, especially into Florida. I know that's a sort of a hot area for travel this time of year, so just be prepared for that if you are going down there. I'd imagine, I don't know averages for them at the top of my head. I did look at their forecast. It's more like 50s and 60s are on the way for them. There is also a system that's moving along the sort of Atlantic coastline as we get towards this weekend into next week. So that may end up giving you some colder air sticking around as we get into next week. In terms of precipitation, Michigan continues to hold equal chances of being wetter or drier. I will say there is some light snow chances, but things have maybe trended a little bit drier for next week. I think that's a good thing as we just continue to be unlucky with snow chances here over the last couple of days. And with temperatures being so cold, it is just hard to treat some of that falling snow. But for now, the Climate Prediction Center has us being equal chances of being above or below our average temperature. Average for this time of year, upper 20s. So that's where we're sitting. Other areas across the country, down to the south, into the Texas region, into Oklahoma, Louisiana, above normal, and then sitting below for areas to the west and to the east. So again, travel plans for any of those areas, because I know a lot of people are traveling for this time of year to get away from the cold. Luckily, a little bit drier in some areas that a lot of people will be traveling, maybe not having to fight rain or even just any kind of weather as we have seen over the last couple of days, or last week, I should say, for areas down south like Oklahoma and Texas where they've gotten snow. Should be warm enough, should be rain if they do get anything, but obviously staying pretty good. Now we head back to mid-Michigan here to end our stream, 7-day forecast. It's teens for today, tomorrow, back into the single digits on Friday. That will be a day again with wind chills in the morning down to 10 to 20 below zero, with the possibility of even colder than that. I think wind calming down could really help us out in that sort of realm, but air temperatures don't help. They're still going to be on the colder side. As we head into the weekend, it is still sitting into the teens and even some 20s for Sunday, and then maybe finally recovering back into the 20s by Monday and Tuesday. That has really been the trend here over the last couple of days on long-term models, is by the time we exit this weekend, we're back into the 20s and may end up staying in the 20s a little bit longer. Well, actually, I'll pull up 10-day temperature trend just to show anyone that's looking even longer term than 7 days. Your 10-day temperature trend does show 20s and even a few 30s. So that will be a good outlook, a better outlook. That's sort of the temperature range where salt works a lot better. You may even get a few areas that are getting closer to above freezing. We'll see how things evolve over the next couple of days. But that is a good trend for anyone that is sort of been not liking the cold temperatures that have been setting up here over the last really 2 weeks. But with that, I don't see any questions over in our chat. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, you can go check out our website at wnem.com. There, head over to our weather tab where there's more updates from the TV5 First Alert weather team. Make sure you catch our newscast this afternoon where TV5 First Alert meteorologist Diane Phillips and TV5 Chief Meteorologist, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will be doing some more updates. We'll also have our evening live stream with more updates on the weather, some more forecasting model runs, just to see how things evolve with some lighter snow chances here over the next couple of days and those wind chills for Friday morning. But I want to thank everyone for joining me. Hopefully you can stay warm if you have to be outdoors, stay dry for any of those snow chances, and stay safe as we get through the rest of our week.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.